Welcome to Republic. Today we are going to discuss about one of the segment in Republic, capital flow. Capital flow. Simplified procedures, customized services. Looking to pursue your dream of starting up a business? We make it easy to start a business from registering a company and then naming by to travel with the entrepreneur in all the finance and legal regulatory requirements. Our services need not to be listed. You name it and we have it. We at Republic Hub make it in an uncomplicated way. Capital Flow, India's largest cloud-based business services platform. Started with the mission of making it easier for entrepreneurs to start and run their business at an affordable cost. Our aim is to help the entrepreneur on the financial and regulatory requirements and be a partner throughout the business life cycle, offering and support at every stage to ensure the business remains complete and continually growing. Capital flow segments. One-stop solution for all your legal and financial related services. Capital flow divided into 4 main segments. 1. Business and compliances. 2. Registration and certification. 3. Personnel services. 4. Banking and insurance. In business and compliances, many services are there. Royal Bird, Octopass, company registrations, special entities, annual compliances, tax filings, changes, and corrections. In registration and certification have many services. Quality certifications, other registrations, intellectual property, GST, Legal Pro. Third segment is personnel services, in that we have digital signature, director identification, e-filings, ITR filings. Fourth segment is banking and insurance. Banking, syndication, and funding, asset management, loan request. Business and compliances. We make it easy to start a business from registering a company and then naming by to travel with the entrepreneur in all the finance and legal regulatory requirements. Our services need not to be listed. You name it and we have it. One of the main services in capital flow is Royal Bird. What is a Royal Bird? It's a complete solution for your innovative startup business idea development to helping out with crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a method of raising capital through the collective effort of individual investors who contribute a small amount online via Royal Bird web application and crowdfunding platforms to finance a new startup business. Raising funds through crowdfunding platform by preparing the idea generation, business plan and other documentation, preparation of presentations and custom materials along with video manuals required for investor summit. Benefits of crowdfunding. 1. Easily reach to investors, have access to thousands of accredited investors and share fundraising campaign. 2. Public relations and marketing, sharing campaign through Royal Bird web app, newsletters and other online marketing tactics. 3. Efficiency, centralize and streamline the fundraising efforts. Instead of duplicating efforts by printing documents, compiling binders, and manually updating each one when there's an update, we can present everything online in a much more accessible format. 4. Validation. Presenting your concept or business to the masses affords an excellent opportunity to validate and refine your. So whoever want to start a business of their idea, they can consult through Republic Partners for funding. Octopass. Open Console Technology Application Public Access Security System. Octopass is nothing but a peer-to-peer, peer-to-peer lending is a method of financing that enables individuals to borrow and lend money without the use of an official financial institution as an intermediary. Peer-to-peer lending removes the middleman from the process. With peer-to-peer lending, borrowers directly take loans from individual investors who are willing to lend their own money for an agreed return. Borrower can receive amount from one investor or from multiple investors. Lenders can register and borrowers can register. It's like bridge between lenders and borrowers. Facilities provided by peer-to-peer intermediaries. Online investment platform to enable borrowers to attract lenders and investors to identify and purchase loans that meet their investment criteria. Development of credit models for loan approvals and pricing. Verifying borrower identity, bank account, employment and income. Performing borrower credit checks and filtering out the unqualified borrowers. Processing payments from borrowers and forwarding those payments to the lenders who invested in the loan. Servicing loans, providing customer service to borrowers and attempting to collect payments from borrowers who are delinquent or in default. Legal compliance and reporting. Finding new lenders and borrowers, marketing. Company registrations. Starting a business, registered through Capital Flow. We serve in making your business stuff a lot easier than you think. Registering part is ours to count on your success. In company registration, we have proprietorship company registration. A proprietorship business is owned and controlled by a single person. It is common form of business and is utilized by the small businesses. Proprietorship is recognized by other registrations, such as a service or GST registration. It has too many shortcomings, such as unlimited liability of proprietor, and it does not have continuous existence. Partnership company registration. A legal form of business operation between two or more individuals who share management and profits. We assist you in a partnership deed, with stamped paper of appropriate value annexed with the agreement by notarizing. Such an act of getting the deed notarized or registered with the registrar of documents does not amount to the registration of partnership firm as such. It is strongly recommended to the partners to get the firm registered. The registration of firm can be obtained by filing the deed and know your customer, KYC, documents of the partners and KYC of premises where the address of firm shall be situated. Want to start a business? Register through Capital Flow. One-person company. One-person company is a new type of business entity that allows a single entrepreneur to operate a corporate entity with limited liability option. One-person company concept opens up spectacular possibilities for sole proprietors and entrepreneur who can take the advantages of limited liability and corporatization but were held back in doing so because of the requirements of finding a second director or second shareholder. One-person company is a new type of business entity that allows a single entrepreneur to operate a corporate entity with limited liability option. Why to wait then start your business? In company registration, another company registration, limited liability partnership registration. LLP is an alternative corporate business form that gives the benefits of limited liability of a company and the flexibility of a partnership. No partner is liable on account of the independent or unauthorized actions of other partners. Thus, individual partners are shielded from joint liability created by another partner's wrongful business decisions or misconduct. We are happy to focus on your core business to serve you wide. Private limited company is the most popular type of corporate legal entity in India. Private limited company is governed by the Companies Act, 2013 and the Companies Incorporation Rules, 2014. Any two legal people can open a private limited company while it must be limited to 200 members. To register a private limited company, a minimum of 2 shareholders and 2 directors are required. A person can be both a director and shareholder, while a corporate legal entity can only be a shareholder. Further, foreign nationals, foreign corporate entities or NRs are allowed to be directors and/or shareholders of a company with foreign direct investment (FDI), making it the preferred choice of entity for foreign promoters. Our dedicated private limited registration specialist is available to assist you in the registration of your business across India. In company registration, another company registration is a public limited company registration. A public limited company, PLC, is the legal designation of a limited liability company which has offered shares to the general public and has limited liability. A PLC's stock is offered to the general public and can be acquired by anyone, either privately, during an initial public offering or through trades on the stock market. A public limited company, PLC, is the legal designation of a limited liability company which has offered shares to the general public and has limited liability. Public limited company is a form of company which offers its shares to the general public. It gives limited liability to its owners and shareholders. The capital required is 5 lakh and GST is mandatory. Annual filings are also mandatory. The minimum number of shareholders can be 7 and minimum number of directors required are 3 and maximum is unlimited. Special entities. NI company registration. A NI company is one that belongs to the non-banking Indian finance sector and is recognized under Section 406 of the Companies Act, 2013. Their core business is borrowing and lending money between their members. They are also known as permanent funds, benefit funds, mutual benefit funds, and mutual benefit company. Producer company registration. The idea of producer company in India was introduced to allow cooperatives to work as a corporate entity under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Producer company in India is registered under the Companies Act, 2013. The Companies Act defines producer as any individual occupied with any activity associated with or relatable to any primary producer. It has the objective of manufacturing a product, market, selling, import and export for their benefits only. Section 8 Company Registration. The Section 8 is very similar to Section 25 of the old Company Act and enables the government to register any association with charitable objectives such as to promote sports, commerce, art and culture, education, research etc. as a limited company, without adding the words private, limited. The income of the company must be used to promote the charitable object only. Annual compliances. All company annual compliances. Virtual CFO service to prepare accounts, file income tax and MCU annual return for company. For all the companies we do annual compliances, we have separate wing of experts handling matters for company annual filing, providing help at every single stage of the process. Internal audit. Internal audit is a dynamic profession involved in helping organizations achieve their objectives. It is concerned with evaluating and improving the effectiveness of risk management, control and governance processes in an organization. Tax audit. Tax audit is the verification of the books of accounts of an assessee to validate the income tax computation and compliance with the laws of income tax. Auditing of books of accounts must be carried out by a certified CA. Statutory audit. Statutory audit is a type of audit which is mandated by a law or a statute to ensure the books of accounts presented to the regulators and public are true and fair. Compliance doesn't matter to us. We are happy to serve you on the entire process. Tax filings and compliances. TDS returns. TDS means tax deducted at source. It is the amount deducted from payments of various kinds such as salary, contract payment, commission, etc. This deducted amount can be adjusted against the tax due of the deductee. TDS returns. TDS, tax deducted at source, is an indirect system of deduction of tax according to the Income Tax Act, 1961 at the point of generation of income. Tax is deducted by the payer and is remitted to the government by him on behalf of the payee. ESI returns. Companies registered under ESICs have to file their return annually, in which they have to show all the changes done during the preceding year. They also have to submit the ESI contribution paid once in every 6 months. Its contribution period is 1st April to 30th September and 1st October to 31st March. The last date of submission of ESI return is within 42 days from the end of half-yearly period, that will be 12th November for period April to September and will be 12th May from October to March. Professional tax registration. Professional tax is a tax imposed by a portion of the state governments in India on people earning wage from salary or rehearsing experts, for example, chartered accountant, company secretary, lawyer, doctor and so on, and from the organization, LLP, directors and designated partners. In business and compliances, last one is changes and corrections. Name change. Name change can be done by the company or by a person by following the legal rights. The main reason for company name changes is mergers and acquisitions. When two companies become one, they have to adopt one of the old names, combine the two or develop a new name. A change of name might be part of a change in corporate branding strategy. In changes and corrections, second one is address change. As per Section 12 of the Companies Act 2013, a company is to have a registered office from the 15th day of its incorporation to be able to receive and acknowledge all communication and notices that are addressed to it. In business and compliances, last one is changes and corrections. Addition of director. Every supporting business needs a next supporting hand, that means next director required to be added in company. The shareholders can add a director from the company with some procedures. A successful director is the index of organization goodwill. Adding or removal of your director partner makes it simple through capital flow. We assist to add more value to your decision made. Get the spark of success through capital flow in every successive step of yours. Removal of director. A director can resign or removed by members at any time providing such do not contravene any provisions in the Companies Act 2006. The shareholders can remove a director from the company with some procedures. We understand that you have created opportunities in striving to continuous improvement. Never stop testing, be it an increase in authorized capital or transferring the share. We do it for you. In business and compliances, last one is changes and corrections. Increase authorization. The authorized capital is the maximum amount of capital that a company can raise through the issue of shares to the shareholders. Share transfer. The transfer of a member's shares to another person. Shares are transferable in such manner as may be prescribed in the Articles of Association. The transfer is achieved by the execution of a transfer form by the transferor and its being lodged, together with the share certificate, with the registrar of the company so that the entry in the company's register of shareholders can be amended. Actual transfer of the legal title to the shares is effected when the charge is made in the company's register. MOA and AO agreements. A Memorandum of Association, MOA, and Article of Association, AOA, is a legal document prepared in the formation and registration process of a limited liability company to define its relationship with shareholders. The Memorandum of Association of a company must be changed whenever there are changes to the object, situation or capital or liability of a company. Changes to Memorandum of Association of a company can be required while changing name of a company, changing registered office from state to state. Addition of partner. When the existing partners of a firm permit a new person to join as their new partner, is called addition of the new partner. A new partner is admitted when the firm needs additional capital or managerial help or both for the expansion of the business. In business and compliances, last one is changes and corrections. Winding up a company. Winding up is the process of selling all the assets of a business, paying off creditors, distributing any remaining assets to the partners or shareholders and then dissolving the business. Winding up can refer to such a process either for a corporation or for a partnership. In capital flow, second segment is registrations and certifications. In capital flow, second segment is registration and certification. Quality certification. TAN certificate. Acquired to be obtained by all persons who are responsible for deducting or collecting tax. Income Tax Act, 1961, it is mandatory to quote tax deduction account number, TAN, allotted by the Income Tax Department, ITD, on all TDS returns. ZED certificate. Zero effect and zero defect assures that when a final product is being outsourced, then it is required that all the goods must be outsourced without any defect. FSSAI certificate. Food license is a permission granted by the FSI to carry on the food business. This food license is location specific and is also term bound. It carries a 14-digit registration number. MSME certification. The Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006 makes it mandatory for MSME to register themselves with government and to obtain UDOG for availing benefits provided under MSME Act. In capital flow, second segment is registration and certification. Quality certification. Udyogada Certificate. Udyogada is a facility by which a company gets a 12-digit unique ID and becomes a legal entity. Any micro, small or medium enterprise to start out any business needs to get itself registered under Udyogada. Import and Export Code Certificate. Import and export code registration is required by a person for exporting or importing goods. It is a 10-digit code which is issued by the Directorate General of Foreign Trade, DGFT. FSSAI Certificate. Food license is a permission granted by the FSI to carry on the food business. This food license is location-specific and is also term-bound. It carries a 14-digit registration number. ISO certification. ISO is an international body that standardizes how businesses and organizations are involved in commerce and industry manage information and processes. It does not enforce regulations. In capital flow, second segment is registration and certification. Quality certification. ISO certification. ISO is an independent, non-governmental international organization with a membership of 163 national standards bodies, through its market-relevant international standards that support innovation and provide solutions to global challenges. ISO 9001 to 2015 Quality Certification. Amplify your management system with our quality standards. Environmental Management ISO 14001-2004. Protect your environment for your better future. ISO 27001-2005 OSAS. Food Safety Management System Access to health and hygienic food for all. ISO 27001-2005. Information Security Management System promotes securely security. Other registrations. Labor registration. It is required by law that all companies established register their business and employees. The business receives a proof of labor registration after the employees and business is registered at the Department of Labor Affairs. ESI and PF registrations. ESI and PF is a must for entities employing 20 or more persons. ESI contribution is required for employees earning less than 21,000 per month. Intellectual property. It is the result of creativity, such as inventions, literary and artistic works, designs and symbols, names and images used in commerce. Intellectual property. Trademark registration. A trademark is a visual symbol, which may be a word, name, device, label or numerals used by a business to distinguish its goods or services from other similar goods or services originating from a different business. Trademark renewal. Trademark renewal must be filed before expiry of it to enjoy seamless protection of the trademark without any chances of litigation. Trademark opposition. In cases wherein the trademark registrar approves an application for advertisement in the trademark journal before registration, any person in the public is allowed an opportunity to oppose the registration of the mark. Trademark objection. In cases where the trademark registrar raises an objection for registration of a trademark, the applicant has an opportunity to submit a written reply for the objection raised. Intellectual property. Patent registration. Patent is a kind of license that confers a right for a set of period 20 years. Patent can be registered in India as per the Indian patent law. A patent registration is required in order to protect an invention in India. After filing of a patent application, the patent application is examined by an examiner of the Patent Office. Once the examiner is satisfied with the response filed by an applicant, he may put the application in order for grant. Intellectual property. Provisional patent registration. Provisional patent application can be filed before filing complete specification, even before the invention has reached a final stage. Design registration. Design registration can be used to protect original shapes, patterns, ornaments, and composition of colors and lines applied to any article by an industrial process. Intellectual property. Copyright registration. It is an intellectual property right that is required to protect original artistic, creative and literary works. The creator can get copyright on his invention. It can be on books, sculptures, music, films, technology-based works and many more. As per the Indian Copyright Act, 1957, the term of copyright is 60 years in general. Goods and Services Tax, GST. GST is a single tax on the supply of goods and services, right from the manufacturer to the consumer. SGST. SGST means State Goods and Service Tax. CGST. Central GST, where all goods and services are taxed by the central government only. IGST. IGST means Integrated Goods and Service Tax. UTGST. UTGST means Union Territory Service Tax, one of the three categories under goods and service tax with a concept of one tax, one nation. Goods and Services Tax, GST. GST registration. The arrangement of GST is such where the credit of the GST paid on inward supply can be set off towards the GST on outward supply, where the chain of expense credit needs to stay in place. GST temporary registration. The arrangement of GST is such where the credit of the GST paid on inward supply can be set off towards the GST on outward supply, where the chain of expense credit needs to stay in place. Goods and Services Tax, GST. GST foreigner registration. If you are a non-resident and plan to set up a business here, then you must register under GST and file your returns according to Indian GST Act. GST e-way bill. GST e-way bill is an electronic bill which will be required for the movement of goods in case the value of the goods are above 50,000 rupees. GST composition. GST Council has prescribed 20 lakhs to 1.5 crore, in between, of turnover to be as far as for limit for registration under GST composition. Legal Pro. Legal Pro is a national legal service network app dedicated to helping its members to provide legal advice to companies and individuals. Advocate registration. Making the legal process simple and adorable, with booking the time and consultation options directly and remotely. Legal Pro is the only app providing all types of legal services on the law of India. All legal-related doubts can be clarified through online. Joining the network creates for more opportunities of cooperation with its members all over India and advocates. Legal services. Legal services in India are most neglected and highly dearer in India. Legal Pro brings all services from a simple advice to complicated filings. We provide commercial legal advice to the promoters, managers, advisors, and investors on all aspects of fund management. You will be really impressed by the services provided by our experts. We make you love what you do and provide you end-to-end solution with no regrets. First appeal. First appeal is the statutory remedy available to the RTI applicant when there is no response from the Public Information Officer within stipulated time limit, or the decision of PIO is not satisfactory, or the PIO offered, supplied incorrect, misleading information, or demanded exorbitant further fee, etc. The first appeal is required to be filed under Section 19(1) of RTI Act. Personnel services. Digital signature certificate. A digital signature or ID is more commonly known as a digital certificate. To digitally sign an office document, you must have a current, not expired, digital certificate. Digital certificates are typically issued by a certificate authority, CA. Director identification number. Director for an Indian company. Both Indian and foreigners must register and get the identification number. DIN number is a 8-digit number. E-filings. The process of submitting tax returns over the internet, using tax preparation software that has been pre-approved by the relevant tax authority. Personnel services. ITR filings. It is mandatory for individuals, NRIs, partnership firms, LLPs, companies, trusts to file income tax returns each year. ITR Form 1. ITR 1 can be filed by resident individuals only having income of up to 50 rupees lakh. The source of this income should be salary, one house property, and other sources such as interest income, etc. ITR Form 2. The ITR 2 form is an important income tax return form used by Indian citizens as well as non-residents to file their tax returns with the Income Tax Department of India. ITR Form 3. The ITR 3 form has been specifically prescribed for individuals and youths having income from business or profession. ITR Form 4. The ITR 4 form is applicable for individuals or youths who have income from proprietary business or are carrying on a profession. ITR Form 5. Form ITR 5 should be filed by entities like partnerships, LLPs, boys and artificial judicial person. ITR Form 6. The ITR 6 form is to be used only by companies except those companies or organizations that claim tax exemption as per Section 11. ITR Form 7. Section 139 4A. Under this section, returns can be filed by those individuals who receive income from any property that is held for the purpose of charity or religion in the form of a trust or legal obligation. Tax notice. You are surprised to receive an intimation/notice from the Income Tax Department even after having successfully filed your income tax return within the due date. In capital flow, fourth segment is banking and insurance. Banking. Kiosk banking. The kiosk banking is the initiative taken by the RBI for those living in villages or other remote areas who are deprived of banking services due to the non-availability of a bank branch in their locality. KYC verification. Document collection, verification, identity verification, document validation, and reporting. Authorization to collect the documents and verification of CACs and addresses located and physical verification by RC or CP. Syndication and funding. Funding is the act of providing financial resources, usually in the form of money or other values such as effort or time, to finance a need, program, and project, usually by an organization or government. Syndication and funding. In syndication and funding, first service is term loan. When a loan is borrowed, then it must be paid back within a period of time. A term loan is a monetary loan that is repaid in regular payments over a set period of time. Term loans usually last between 1 and 10 years, but may last as long as 30 years in some cases. Syndication and funding. Another service is working capital. When an organization is established and is in working state, there will be day-to-day operations that are performed within the company. So, the capital that is required for the company to run its day-to-day operations is called working capital. Syndication and funding. Collateral-free loans. The loan provides by the bank without supporting any security is known as security-free. A special type of collateral-free loan scheme is available in India under the Credit Guarantee Fund Trust Scheme for Micro and Small Enterprises. Under this scheme, the micro and small enterprises, MSEs, are eligible for collateral-free loans up to Rs. 1 crore in values. Collateral-free loan of up to Rs. 1 crore can be obtained by new entrepreneurs. Syndication and funding. Bank loan syndication. Loan syndication is the process that involves several different lenders in providing various portions of a loan. Loan syndication most often occurs in situations where a borrower requires a large sum of capital that may be too much for a single lender to provide. Business plan preparation. A business plan is a written document that describes a business. It covers objectives, strategies, sales, marketing, and financial forecasts. A business plan has many functions, from securing external funding to measuring success within your business. CMA report. Comparative market analysis, CMA, is a vital tool for both buyers and sellers, helping you understand more about an individual property and the market it is being sold in. CMA report is often requested by bankers while sanctioning or renewing credit facilities. Bank loan rating. Bank loan rating from external agencies is used by banks, vendors, financial institutions, investors, and others to gauge the financial health of an enterprise and its ability to make timely payment of its bank loan, including principal and interest payment. Credit score check and repair. CIBIL score is used by lenders for assessing the credit risk of a borrower while lending money. It's good to check CIBIL score periodically. Syndication and funding. Secured loans. A secured loan is a loan in which the borrower pledges some asset, example a car or property, as collateral for the loan, which then becomes a secured debt owed to the creditor who gives the loan. The debt is thus secured against the collateral. In the event that the borrower defaults, the creditor takes possession of the asset used as collateral and may sell it to regain some or all of the amount originally loaned to the borrower. For example, foreclosure of a home. Syndication and funding. Vehicle loan. A short-term loan in which the borrower's vehicle title is used as collateral. The borrower must be the lien holder. If the loan is not repaid, the lender can take ownership of the car and sell it to recoup the loan amount. Asset management. Manage funds for individuals, companies for well-times investments on behalf to grow their financials with property management, asset management, mutual funds, portfolio management and resource management. Loan request. Send your request, we process IT. Collateral-free loans request. Term loan request. Working capital request. Secured loan request. Unsecured loan request. Vehicle loan request. Bank loan syndication. Capital flow strengths. High secured. Expert services. Low cost. Short time. Plenty of services. Quick response. Secure authentication. Available at your doorsteps. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Get in touch with us. Contact information. Plot number 18, Mitail Nagar, Banjara Hills Road number 12, Hyderabad, 500,034. Phone number 91,900,171,585. Email support@republicgov.com. Website www.republicgov.com. Thanks for watching. Capital Flow.